Well, I guess one good story I had fun with was it was a neighboring dog hunting club, and I had a dog called Slim Jim, and which he went back top and bottom to copper. Well, he was pretty good at you know trailing and finding deer or whatever. Well, this neighboring dog hunting club, uh, they said, "Boy, we shot a big one. We shot a big one." They said, "We can't find him. We can't find him. We guess we found, some bone and we found some blood, but we can't find a dog to find him." So I ride over there, which has been about an hour, and they said I unloaded that dog, and they said, "Well, ain't no walker dog gonna find this deer. We done put blue ticks, curs, red bones, and they ain't gonna find a walker dog ain't gonna find this thing." So anyway, they uh I turned Slim Jim loose. I said, "Get ahead." I said, "Find him." And he went across there and he smelt. And I know how he reacts, and when he smelled and he wagged that tail, and I told him, well, then he stopped to take a leak. Of course, then they started making fun jokes, that these naysayers from the other club, oh, he just said tinkle on it, he don't know where that deer's at. Well, when he went on, he got across the little cutover and hit the bigger timber, and he triple barked. And I turned around and looked at him. I said, "I thought y'all hit this deer good." I said, "He's fixing to jump that deer." And when he triple barked, and sure enough, he jumped and he barked every breath running to the creek. Well, then I heard him go to bed on the creek. Well, some guy took off with a Bowie knife, no gun or nothing. And I said, if that deer's healthy enough to jump up and run, a Bowie knife ain't gonna do him a whole lot of good. So they were the boys standing there uh, by me, and I told Briar Patch, I tossed him my shotgun. I said, "Catch him." I said, "Before that boy gets there with that knife." So he ran in there, and they come back, and both of them said, "Man, we ain't never seen nothing like that dog." So that dog he went in there on that buck and said the buck had him in the air between his horns, slinging from side to side. His horns got up under his collar, and we thought it was going to kill the dog. And they said directly he reached down and grabbed him back at the neck and went to chewing on him and took the buck down in the creek and drug him underwater. He said the dog pulled the deer underwater. And they said, and then my buddy, he ran in there. He said, I ran in there. I thought he was going to drown. And he said, when I got in there, I pulled the deer up. And he said, Slim Jim come up. And he said, the deer tried to take off. So he said, I pulled my knife out to finish the deer off. And uh, he said, Slim Jim, as soon as he cut him or stuck him with a knife, he said he took him down in the water. And then the other boy went in there to grab him, and Slim Jim turned around and looked at him like, you ain't touching this deer. It's my deer. So, but that was it was pretty good. And then when they drug him out, they all was just amazed. They said they ain't never seen a dog attack a deer like that. But he was a pretty special hound. Yeah.